Hey parents, how's it going? Brian here with your 3-ish minute resource. And today's resource is, very relevant because this is all about politics. Politics and how Christian parents can talk about politics with their students. If you're watching this at the time of publication, then yesterday was election day. I'm filming this on Tuesday, so I don't know who's won yet. But regardless of who wins, I know that there's going to be questions, there's going to be confusion, there's going to be a lot of emotions, maybe even in your home. Maybe the person you voted for didn't get voted in, or maybe vice versa, and there's all sorts of that. I've been teaching a bunch of 7th graders out of school, and what's funny is that all these 7th graders, they've been coming in, they have all these questions, asking me who I'm going to vote for and everything. They are far away from being able to vote themselves, but do not be mistaken that young students, 12, 13, 14, especially older students, they're thinking about these things. They have their thoughts. The kind of political thought in the air, it's coming into them like by osmosis. Your students have thought about these things. They've at least heard the names. They know some of this stuff. And maybe you've already talked to them about some of these things. Well, what I want to share with you today is, I think, a really helpful article that comes from Crossway. And it's just about, hey, how to talk about politics in a Christian home. Not going to go in a specific direction like, vote for this or whatever. Instead, it brings it back to, hey, do we recognize that God is sovereign? What do we think is the specific purpose of politics? What I think a lot of people do, they make this mistake of thinking that one political side is going to be the savior. In fact, what politics is on this side of heaven, the article says, is really a way to mitigate sin rather than ushering in some sort of utopia. We know we're not going to see some sort of utopia this side of heaven. So what does it look like for somebody who's living for the sake of Christ's name to engage in politics? We shouldn't run away. We shouldn't be obsessed with it. And what does that look like for our parenting? I read through this article. It's a little bit longer than the usual articles I send out, but it's really, really helpful. Don't ignore it just because it's the day after Election Day. I'm sending it this day for a reason. I think regardless of where you voted, I think this is really, really helpful, because what this is going to hopefully usher you towards, wherever you are, it's going to remind us that any sort of full-on devotion to one party, well, that's idolatry, and that's taking God out of his proper place, putting them in their place. But it's also really helpful in discerning, hey, how do I actually talk to my students about this? They have a really helpful analogy, the first, second, and third floor. How do I talk to my student, my young kid, my older student, about things like abortion and all sorts of different political issues? That was the most helpful part of the article. So I would encourage you, click the link below, check it out. There's also a book that's kind of a little bit of a companion. I think the book is titled, What Do I Say When? And the idea is, hey, what do I say when my student asks about gender transitions or homosexuality or politics, abortion? I think it's a helpful book. I haven't gotten it yet, but I'm gonna. And so I'll just say, hey, if you come to coffee tonight at 8:15, I'm gonna try to have a copy of that book for you. If you wanna grab it, I'll only have a couple. So first couple of people who come and grab it, it'll be there. All right. Hey parents, I'm praying for you, love you, and I just want to say this again. If there's anything at all we can do to help you out, helping out with winter camp, advice, whatever, please give me a call. A parent called me the other day and asked for help with something. It was a highlight of my week. If I can be a help to you in any way, I would love to grab coffee with you, chat with you. I'll talk to you later. Have a great day.